Hello there! Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Yan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the twice daily series here on this channel, Football Therapy, where I talk what's being said in the headlines, the rumours, what the ITKs are murmuring, etc. We react to what's being said about Chelsea. I give you my opinion on it, but of course, as always, more importantly, I ask for yours down in the comment section, as in when we go. Today we are discussing strikers, goalkeepers, midfielders, Rayan Cherki. Like you might see, and might notice this little guy over here. That's a little man called Eden Hazard. We've been looking for some unpredictability on the ball, someone who can pop creative early passes, but also travel in the final third, like an unpredictable, diminutive, exciting player. Now that could be Rayan Cherki. Chelsea are trying to sign him. News has developed, and one of our sporting directors is pushing for the move. We'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, thank you for joining and showing your support. I've got new soundproof, you probably noticed I've got soundproofing relatively evenly distributed all around the room in an attempt to eliminate the echo, the reverb that we were enduring. Every day I will strive for stronger and better content for you, the viewer, because that you guys mean a lot to me. Right, let's talk football. All right, Chelsea. Right, this is an everlasting question, or one of many actually. This transfer window, goalkeeper. Clearly not the top of the list in terms of priority, in terms of business to be done. That remains the central defensive midfielder. Of course, Fabrizio Romano yet again yesterday reiterating the fact how Chelsea are locked to deals. There's confidence. It's just details and how this deal gets done. I think Chelsea are probably going to be the more lenient out of the two parties because we wanted to get him on the plane. I ain't getting no plane. We have 3 days? So, yeah, tough. Although, you could just send them out to America and sign there. Didn't we do that last summer? We just signed them all while we were on pre-season tour. I don't think it's very helpful. But still, maybe we'll do that. Of course, he's going to be very, very expensive. He won't be the record signing, but he will be certainly up there around your Lukaku money, one would assume. I don't think he would get to or eclipse our record signing figure of Enzo Fernandez of 106 million pounds sterling. Yes, so that, of course, is a priority, but the goalkeeper remains a big talking question. Of course, journalist Alex Crook went on. I say of course, but there's no reason to say of course. I'm letting you know, journalist Alex Crook said Chelsea might make a move to sign Emi Martinez, he said on TalkSport. This is an interesting one. Look, he has been linked with Chelsea a few times. A few reputable people with information have actually reiterated the possibility that Chelsea will sign Emi Martinez, or at least try to. Now, of course, yet again, like Lautaro, we are being probably linked because we have a manager from Argentina. He, of course, is a World Cup winner. Now, Martinez isn't particularly young. He's over 30, isn't he? Or he's 30. Let me just double check that as we go. Emi Martinez is 30 years old. He'll turn 31 just as the season starts. So he's a senior, maybe that's good, maybe that gives him the bridge to develop Gaga Slanina, who's of course very young still, but there's high hopes for him at Chelsea. Look, Emi Martinez is made for the big moments. He of course won the FA Cup with Arsenal. He qualified for Europe with Villa last season under Unai Emery, and of course he's won the World Cup and had some big boy moments in said World Cup. He is one for the big moments, but in terms of goalkeeping profile, is he the one we want? Say what you want about Kepa, and there's a lot to be said. He is actually a very good goalkeeper with his feet. He's the sort of quintessential Spanish goalkeeper that's good at tiki-taka, which will probably suit Mauricio Pochettino's football. Certainly in theory suited Maurizio Sarri's football. That's why we paid the big bucks for him when Thibaut Courtois snaked his way all the way over to Madrid and refused to come to training at Chelsea. So yes, Kepa was being liked by Real Madrid. Chelsea, of course, we just were put in a really difficult position and we ended up activating his release clause. Of course, the following season he won the Europa League and finished third, and it looked like a decent keeper before his form fell off a cliff. I'm digressing slightly here. Martinez would probably be a good Premier League proven option. Is he a good footballing goalkeeper? You'd imagine Pochettino and his team would know a lot about him. It's not a priority for me. Getting the Caicedo deal over the line is a priority. And then they look at the striker, maybe a goalkeeper, maybe a right winger. And indeed, Rayan Cherki. Let's talk about Rayan Cherki next. Now, again, this story hasn't quite heated up enough to the boiling point of me showing you some statistics. Maybe the next video, if there's another story that's broken, I want to show you, because he's got some incredible metrics in terms of creative numbers. Not the defensive, the one for defending, but if he is given more of a free role and is sort of developed and coached to, defend a little bit more. Bearing in mind he's still only 19. Then there's an absolute gem there. Cy Phillips, of course, he has got his own informants, sources from Chelsea. He tweeted an image of a sector from what he wrote a couple of days ago on Rayan Cherki. He says, I did hear early Tuesday, so earlier this week, morning, that Chelsea were now seriously considering making an offer to sign Cherki, who they believe is gettable this summer. So despite what Leon is saying about, we don't want to sell anyone, but they do have financial issues. The same source told Simon that Cherki's news first. He says that Lawrence Stewart is the main one pushing for this move, and that Chelsea are broadly happy with the conditions of the deal told to them by Leon in an inquiry, which is massive, really, isn't it? Look, do you want to sell Rayan Cherki now? We don't really want to sell any players, really, ideally, but if you had to sell him, how much would you sell him for? I don't know. We'd probably have to do it for 40 million euros. Okay, all right, cool. See you in a bit. We'll call you, yeah? Don't pick up the phone to anyone else. Maybe a little bit of that. Broadly happy. Well, broadly happy also might be, but you know us. This is Nouveau Chelsea 2023. We'll pay your 40 million euro, but understand this. It'll be paid on a 19-year period. We'll give you pennies every day. So there might be something like that. Look, man, again, one may argue, and rightly, that it's not a priority. Of course, we've said midfielder, possibly striker next, and then goalkeeper. I mean, I say possibly striker because quite rightly, the reports have dictated that Pochettino and his team want to look at Breuer and Jackson just in case they don't need to sign a striker. Was it yesterday or the day before we spoke about Ivan Toney? There's reports suggesting from Felix Johnson, who's got information that Chelsea are considering buying, and Paul Winstanley, so the other sporting director, clearly have their own ideas. Lawrence Stewart's out trying to get Rayan Cherki. Paul Winstanley for a while has been considering Ivan Toney, but of course he'd have to come in January because of his ban. Toney in theory sounds great because it gives 6 months to Breuer and Jackson to prove, are they the real deal? Can they do this for Chelsea? You know what I mean? So it's kind of up in the air, and to a degree the jury's relatively out whether striker is the second priority or is it goalkeeper. I mean, even goalkeeper, we've read reports that Pochettino's like, nah, I can work with Kepa. We've got two really high quality goalkeeping, well-renowned goalkeeping coaches now. I think Kepa will be good for my football. Kepa's 27, 28, he can get better. Goalkeepers go for another 10 years on top of that. He's good. I can do it. Kepa's fine. So again, it's up in the air, like, who's second priority here? And of course there is, we all know the first priority is CDM, but then, maybe another midfielder. We're actually very short on midfielders. But then again, Rayan Cherki is not a number 6 or a number 5. He's not a defensive midfielder. So it's tough. It's really, really tough. But he, I believe he is left-footed. I'll have to confirm that. He could play on the right wing. He could cover for Noni Madueke, who's looked really good, who may deserve a starting chance. But of course, we are light on the wings still, So it's kind of like difficult to ascertain past Caicedo what the priority is, but we will of course keep tabs on all of that. And as the Rayan Cherki story develops, it's very, very exciting. He's got incredible metrics, and if you watch his highlight reel, it'll look very good, as is the way with players. But yeah, comment on that and let's move on. Okay, so there is a journalist called Vene Casagrande, who's a Brazilian journalist writing about Matheus Franca, who of course is the young midfielder that Chelsea have approached for. I'm reading this news aggregation from @BlueFooty. Chelsea are no longer interested in making a proposal to Flamengo for Matheus Franca. So this is the interesting part here. When the news about the interest in the midfielder leaked, the English team was outraged. Why? Like, the news about our interest in every single friggin' player in the world, by the way. And by the way, we are seemingly interested in every friggin' player in the world, especially teenage, South Americans. We're all over that. So why an interest to one is leaked, we are outraged and pulling out. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. I do believe, of course, it was true that we are interested in the player. Because we're interested in everyone that's young and talented. Apparently we're going super, just, trying to collect all the young talent of the world and, add to Project 2030. Which is great, I guess, from a business perspective, from a team development perspective, it's intelligent, smart business. In theory, it's hard to get excited about right now, knowing that you're buying kids for the future. It's kind of like nice. You're like, okay, so we're looking after ourselves. But at the same time, we've been so starved of good football in the first team and the immediate team. Thank goodness the women's team's so good, but we've long had this connection with the men's first team. We're just waiting. Though Chelsea fans have been admirably patient, you don't want to hear necessarily about the army of tomorrow being built. You want to hear about right now, solving today's problems. Yes, it's good, take care of tomorrow, but look for today. It's more profound in my head. So something that's happening today, the Simon Jones of the Mail has wrote as well. Chelsea have rejected Milan's latest very different, Internazionale, their latest bid for one-rate striker, Romelu Lukaku. Oh, yeah, baby, the saga goes on, and we all hate it. Chelsea have rejected Milan's latest offer of £26 million, which is 30 million euro. It is the second bid they've pushed back from the City A side, with Inter having previously tabled a £23 million bid. Oh, you added 3 million for a £100 million striker. Again, here's that line in theory. Todd Bowley wants 40 million quid. 40 million quid! Or Duan, who turned 30 back in May, but the Italian club have also expressed an interest in signing him on loan, which the Blues will not allow. Good, I'm done with kicking that big Belgian can down the road. I'm done. You buy him, mate. They are not the only Italian club looking to sign the centre forward, though, with league rivals Juve also interested. Max Allegri's side are willing to sell striker Dusan Vlahovic to Maurizio Pochettino for as little as £21 million if we include Lukaku in the swap deal. I'm done. I used to love the look of Dusan Vlahovic. Is he the solution? Are you swapping one City A striker for another? That's problematic. Of course, Vlahovic is a lot younger. The Serbian, he's a lot younger, so the value will be a lot more. Again, we've spoken about Jackson, Breuer, maybe Tony. I'd much rather get Tony than Vlahovic. Many football hipsters would be like, that's not a sexy signing. You just want an English striker in the Premier League. I want a guy that I've seen play football and score loads of goals in the Premier League. That's what I want. Vlahovic, he's young. He was really highly rated, and he did that go to Juve thing and not do very well, which a lot of players do sometimes. So we do need a new striker, so saith the Mail, with the club hoping to offload Aubameyang, who, by the way, is behaving really well at Chelsea. I think he kind of deserves a bit of kudos. Aubameyang just kind of reported back, training hard, not saying anything. It was a horror move for him to come to Chelsea, but he's just been really good about it. He's just trained, not caused any issues, and been a good boy. Found the head. Of course, he's got hefty wages as well that we want to alleviate ourselves from. So the Mail Sport understands there's already been contact with Juve's Serbian forward to become their new striker. True, we've heard that from multiple sources that Dusan Vlahovic is on the 3-person list. Lukaku joined the Blues back from Milan, Inter, not Milan, for 98 million. the year 10 years after he previously joined Chelsea from Anderlecht. And yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid. I believed it was the one. Of course, we wanted Haaland, and as time has not been kind to us from not signing Erling Haaland. Especially, you know, Lampard said he wanted to sign him from Salzburg before Dortmund did. He says, yeah, and shout out Lampard, because he did want to sign Declan Rice when he first came to Chelsea. He says, look, this guy will be Chelsea captain, you know, and Declan just got more and more expensive after that. You know, you probably could have bagged him for like 60 million back then, maybe. I don't know, maybe being presumptuous a bit. And Haaland, he cost nothing to Dortmund, you know, so you got to shout out that Lampard's talent idea has never been questioned. Yes, yeah, I was going to say I drank the Kool-Aid and I, like, you know, was on board and, like, saw the video of Lukaku's as a kid from Anderlecht Academy looking at Stamford Bridge saying, I'm going to play here one day. Like, you know, Drogba's my idol, and we all just thought, you know what, we'll go with the narrative. You know, the Nordic goal-scoring, baby-eating machine that just sort of eats your nightmares. He'll be great, but at the same time, we're going to go with the narrative that Lukaku's coming home. Boy, how wrong we all were. But he's now hoping to leave once again, and has confessed he's unhappy with the year of Thomas, yeah, the interview, I'm not going to read about that. Of course, Milan have completed a deal for Christian Pulisic on a 4-year deal, I believe with an option to extend, so congratulations to him and the club for the move. It's another good move. Milan have become Chelsea's B team with Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Tomori, and Giroud. So we are, of course, in the big summer revamp. Chelsea have allowed to basically not call back Lukaku early to allow him to sort out his future. But the Mail Sport wrote yesterday, it seems the 30-year-old will not return to pre-season training with the club and does not want to fly back to London either, as he is hoping to force a move to Inter Milan. He's going on strike. He's doing the Thibaut Courtois, ladies and gentlemen. What a penis. The Belgium has notably been in flying form for his national side recently. Has he? Scoring in his last 4 appearances: Sweden, Germany, Austria, Estonia. Well, he didn't score in the World Cup in the big moments in the fucking World Cup, did he? Last season, he got 10 goals in 25 games on loan with the Nerazzurri. And of course, you know, the context is required. He was in form in the latter stages of the domestic league campaign. Romelu Lukaku. So lots to get into, kind of a long video today. I'll try and get it a bit quicker and concise for the second video as we look at more stories developed. So make sure you hit the bell when you sub to keep updated. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. So thank you for joining me. Take care of yourselves. Peace.